The term global economy is defined as the international spread of capitalism, the worldwide economic activities between various countries that are considered intertwined, and thus global economy can affect other countries negatively or positively. Countries have been trading with other countries for decades. The ability to produce an item in one country and export it to another country increases their economic activity. The same theory is applied to an opposite way. The product that you manufacture in your country and export to another country that boosts your activity, economic activity, now turn it around and that other country manufactures a product and export it to you. Now that country's economic activity also gets stronger. The key is to export more of what is produced in one country over the amount you import from another country. The more you import, the stronger you are on a global market. Just the opposite happens with your import more than you export. Imports are foreign goods and services bought by residents of a country. Residents include citizens, business, and governments. It doesn't matter what the import are or how they are sent. If they are produced in a foreign country and sold to domestic residents, they are defined as imports. Exports are goods and services in one country and purchased by citizens of another country. The more a country exports, the more it creates a competitive advantage. The competitive advantage is what makes a good or service superior to all its customers' other choices. Global rules become especially important in a globalized world economy in which the economic independence between nation states is intersatisfying. Similarly, as the development of property rights and other rules has followed increasing scarcity throughout history, the global rule system has to reflect the stronger independence between countries. The process and methods used to transform tangible inputs such as raw materials, semi-finished goods, intangible inputs such as ideas, information, and knowledge into goods and services, all are forms of production in a global economy. According to the United States Commerce, the United States top exports were food, beverages, feed, crude oil, fuel, and other petroleum products, civilian aircraft and aircraft engines, parts, engines, and car tires. The top service exports were travel, transportation, finance, insurance, and sales from intellectual properties. The top U.S. imports are oil, machines, engines, pumps, electronic equipment, vehicles, distribution of product include commerce, which is the movement of goods and services from a source through a distribution channel, and to finally the customers or end users. The movement of payment in the opposite direction back to the original producer or supplier. In a global economy, there should be a level playing field that essentially makes for a more efficient market in which there is equilibrium between what buyers are willing to pay for and goods and services or what sellers are willing to sell for goods and services. Organizations always look to increase their profit margins. One way to do this is to improve the way products produce or your products. If you can improve the way you produce a goods and services, then you may afford to lower your selling price, which results in increased demands and affordability. Another way that global economy helps the commerce consumers is when there is competition. When you have multiple producers competing for a hold in the economy, most of the time the quality of the goods and services increase. When you have multiple competitors fighting over market share, each company must constantly look to improve their goods and services, which creates more value for their loyal customers. Every country in the world is touched by global economy. Companies in every industry are taking steps to expand internationally through trade and investments. Over the past several decades, trade agreements have been formed. There is North American Free Trade Agreement, which is NAFTA, Association of Southeast Asian Nations, and the European Union (EU), just to name a few. Countries want to invest in other countries. In 1944, the International Monetary Fund (IMF) was created to restore and sustain the benefits of globalization by promoting international economic cooperation. The IMF focused on microeconomic issues. The IMF believes that globalization has great potential to contribute to the growth that is essential to achieve a sustained reduction of global poverty. Globalization may have stopped you from buying another flat screen television, but it has also helped countless people in developing countries to put food on the table for their families. The World Bank helped countries improve their access to developed country markets and enhance their participation in the world global economy. The Trade Organization, which was founded in 1995 and is located in Geneva, Switzerland, has about 160 countries as members. The World Trade Organization is the only global international organization dealing with the rules of trade between nations. The WTO goal is to ensure that trade flows smoothly as possible. In closing, the reason I selected this topic of global economy is both personal and professional. When I was 18 years old, I joined the Navy in my early years. While sailing around the world, my superiors would ask the junior sailors why we thought the Navy was so important to the nation. Of course, we all had our own opinions, but the one answer they all wanted to hear was the United States Navy primary mission was to keep the sea lanes open for free trade. No country or foreign agent should have the ability to block cargo from reaching their destination. The end. Questions?